a jiu-jitsu person could maybe submit a wrestler, but a wrestler has just dominance on top of somebody and can wrangle people so well. A jiu-jitsu guy that has only focused on jiu-jitsu and hasn't done any wrestling would go into a wrestling competition and get mopped. Men and women are getting surgery to increase their height. Some people have gotten their height up by like 5 or 6 inches.
Damn. For a man, it might be the equivalent of like a boob job.
A BBL.
Both of you guys are prepping for competition. Anything different food-wise? Anything different training-wise?
My body weight is where it should be, and I feel pretty good.
I think the big things has been obviously training frequency.
Does any of it make you like sore?
Nothing I do makes me feel like I can't move. Did you guys see the AI girlfriend thing I sent you both?
I don't know. I guess I knew that was already kind of here. Like, I forgot.
AI girlfriend?
Yeah. Like, cause there was the, I think she was like a OnlyFans, and then,
Pokemon.
She set something up to where like she can be your like AI girlfriend. And she made like, I don't know, like an insane amount of money in like only like the first week. And it's like, damn, okay. So when you sent that other one, I was like, yeah, that's here.
Yeah, I forgot the company, but pretty much they're charging guys or anybody $1 a minute. And what users can do, like, so if a girl is, let's say she's a streamer, and guys can do this too.
My wife costs $1 a minute. I think we should talk about this on the air.
I think we are on there.
Oh, we are. Okay.
We're on air? Okay, or if your wife, Andy, or if any person wants to upload their voice, it would be uploaded to this AI, which then a lonely guy can buy, and he could have a conversation back and forth with this AI. So it's like the AI will say, "How are you doing this morning?" And be like, "I'm not doing that great." And be like, "Well, here's some things you could do to feel better. Let's talk a little bit." Yeah, it's scary.
But even
I need that.
Yeah, but even better.
Why do you feel crummy today, Mark? You look great. You're so jacked and tan. Get out there and kill the day. I could use that.
Yeah, dude.
But
pep talk.
There is a.
Why are you feeling bad? Your dick's so big. I mean,
it's huge. What the heck?
Yeah, you should be doing.
Get out of here. Yeah. That's your dick. Holy shit.
See,
100%. Like there will be aspects of this AI. There will be aspects of this AI that'll be like just jerk off instruction. It'll be like, yeah, touch your shaft.
Yeah,
and then you'll probably have your remote control vibrating pussy.
Use that exact voice right
there. Oh, the future is bright.
But there is a company out there that we can just like upload all our podcasts, and it can either do another episode for us, or people can reach out to that AI and it will respond the way we have responded to everything we have on this podcast.
So people don't need us anymore.
So yeah, people will not need us anymore, or they will pay $1 to date all three of us.
I think we were, for a little bit, I think we were working hard to try to make people or convince people that they do need us.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have proof that we don't matter. More proof that we don't matter. That's where we started.
Mm-hmm.
So we're right back to square one.
Full circle.
Right?
How sad is that, though,
almost
guys?
The layup.
Well, I missed that. But isn't that really sad? Like, I get it.
It's better than no girlfriend.
Is it though? Because like you could get super comfortable with it, and then why even get a girlfriend if you have a vibrating thing that will control itself on your dick, and you have your goggles on and you can see all this shit, and then she's talking to you.
Maybe for some people it will calm them down if they have like a fake girlfriend.
What I was gonna
they
say.
Can't get out like sexual energy, and maybe they won't.
Yeah, maybe they'll be less like road rage now.
Yeah.
So there's that, but there's an aspect
maybe less predatorial, less rapey.
Okay, that 100% will happen.
That might happen, right?
But at the same time, it's like you kind of need to be a little bit angry sometimes. You know what I mean? If you're going to go out and
you need some pent up cum aggression.
Yes, you know what I'm talking about.
Is that why you're saving yourself till after Worlds?
Oh shit!
Actually, my girl's out of town for a few days, so I'm gonna be. Yeah, she's gonna go watch her friend compete.
So this is where the AI girlfriend could come in handy. Right? Baby, I didn't cheat on you. You could talk to her yourself if you want.
She's right here.
Yeah,
she'll tell you what we did.
Yeah, there you go.
It wasn't anything too crazy. Well, okay, maybe.
I mean, it'll have like a history though too, right? Like a search history.
Oh
and
man,
be like you said this on this date. And it's like they'll pull up your records or whatever,
I have a question for you guys.
Here we go.
All right. Have you guys ever considered buying a flashlight?
Yeah.
I've considered it.
No, absolutely.
I think Flashlight like I missed my window.
You missed your window?
I wasn't like lonely enough at that time.
Yo, a few years ago, man, I was looking at that shit. I'm like, man, this shit vibrates. It swirls. What? Like, what is this magical
like
device?
Aubrey Marcus's dad like created the first
Something
one
like
or something,
that.
right?
Yeah.
And it's the first sponsor of Joe Rogan.
So that's how I knew of it. That's why I was just like, well, how good can these things actually feel?
Bring this thing up. Let's see what this thing
Oh,
is.
no. We might not be able to do it for YouTube.
Oh, yeah, you'll definitely have to blur that shit. But fleshlights, I think they start off as just like, pocket devices where you have to do the work. But now they will, you could just put that thing on and just go sit down for you. You should be standing there like this, just...
Pretty popular item in the military, from what I've heard.
Look at that one. It's got nuts.
Wow.
Wait, it has nuts?
Yeah. That's great. These nuts are banging up against my own nuts. This is amazing.
Wow.
Wait a second.
Well, fleshlights for everyone. Gay guys need fleshlights too.
I could picture somebody ordering that one and they're like, fuck it.
Literally.
Yeah, right? It's like, I'm not going to send this back. I'm not going to reorder.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
My pride wouldn't allow me to. You see that little blue one right there? That one probably yeah, see? I think that one spins.
Oh.
Chill out.
Picture
Google.
that. Dog, picture that.
Google.
Just on your fucking dick.
It's hard to get a girl to do these things,
It's impossible. But you think about that shit, like vibrators are fucking, doing this crazy
They can
shit.
do a lot.
Why can't we? Mm-hmm. I still can't do it though. I can't bring myself to, but I have definitely thought of it. Mm. I'm surprised you haven't thought of it, but
I have thought of everything. Yeah, at some point I'd fuck a sandwich if I could. Get a little mayo on there and be all set probably.
Extra mayo. Oh.
Put it in the microwave for a little bit, warm it up.
The good old lotion sock as a kid. Mm-hmm. You never did the lotion sock?
Never had to.
Good for you guys. Yeah. I did.
Uncut gem over here.
What do you mean?
You don't need lube or anything when you're uncut. You just use the skin.
Just that sandy skinned hand.
It doesn't matter.
No, it's smooth. It's great.
Man.
Built-in moisture.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Everyone's favorite word, moisture.
Moist. Yeah.
All right, what were we going to talk about? We were talking about Tyson Fury.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Mr. Fury.
And so how many fleshlights did he order?
Oh, God.
Now, Tyson Fury, I think, took exception to something Joe Rogan said. Let's see if we can pull it up.
Yeah, I got it right here. Let me do this. Let's go ahead and do it like that. Whoa, bam.
I'm the baddest man on the planet. I heard Joe Rogan say something about me the other day and I've been off all the social media so I didn't reply to that little pussy. Little fucking midget, bald-headed midget. Oh. I heard him say that Jon Jones could fuck me up if we went in the room together. I don't think so. Not a man born from mother can fuck me up. In a room, on our own. Whatever happens in that room, I'd be walking out. Not a fucking problem.
Play me again.
In a room, on our own. From mother can fuck me up.
Something mother?
I don't think so. Not a man born from mother can fuck me up.
Not a man bumfuck mother could fuck me up.
Not a man born from a mother can fuck me up. Yeah.
Not a man born from a mother can fuck me up.
What does that mean? That means you have to be like an alien?
Alien or born from a dad.
Say something about me the other day and I've been off all the social media so I didn't reply to that little pussy. Little fucking midget, bald-headed midget.
What's that word you said?
I heard him say that Jon Jones could fuck me up if we went in the room.
Little fucking midget, bald-headed midget. The stuff before that, though.
Yeah, boffy? Is that the word he said?
What
is that
I
word?
think he said pussy.
Oh, did he say pussy?
I heard Joe Rogan say something about me the other day and I've been off all the social media so I didn't reply to that little pussy. Little fucking midget, bald-headed midget. I heard him say that Jon Jones could fuck me up if we went in the room together. I don't think so. Not a man born from mother can fuck me up. Right, in a room, on our own. Whatever happens in that room, I'd be walking out. Not a fucking problem.
Damn.
Whatever happens in that room, huh?
Oh, man.
The mind. Yo, who you guys think will win?
Well, so from the back and forth, it looks like it would have to be in boxing rules, in a boxing ring.
100%.
And I can't think of how big Jon Jones is right now, but I would imagine Tyson Fury's a lot bigger and heavier and I mean, I guess arguably the best boxer in the world. So that's a tough battle for Jon Jones.
Man, I guess everybody would be excited to see what the hell's going to go on.
Mhm.
I think they could even just have a WWE match, and everyone would probably want to watch it.
Yeah, definitely.
Regardless, since WWE, I think, bought UFC, or there was some sort of
Something like
merger,
that.
right?
Uh-huh.
Maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. Yeah, some sort of merger between the two. But yeah, I mean, I think it's obvious. I think if it's boxing, I think Tyson Fury would win. I don't think there would be any question. Bones seems like an amazing striker, but if you take away like leg kicks and other things, like who knows what will happen there. And then Tyson Fury just has so much experience. And then in MMA, we've seen people try to go into MMA that don't have. I mean, the only time I've ever seen it really work when somebody doesn't have like some jiu-jitsu and someone doesn't have like really good striking skills is with really, really high level wrestlers. But you have to be like damn near Olympic level in wrestling to be able to protect yourself enough against some of the savages that are in the UFC. Like we saw like Dan Severn do that. Like Dan Severn had no offense. He didn't throw a punch. He didn't throw a kick. But we had him on this podcast and he's like in the 60s. It doesn't even have a scratch on him. But that's, you know, was such a tough guy, along with having that like long wrestling background. So I don't know about Tyson Fury. I don't know what kind of. I know he's got a lot of background with fighting.
I just wanted to bring this one up. So it's UFC champions by primary fighting style. Look at how many wrestlers are champions.
Right.
Damn. Yeah. 28 wrestling champions and then only 17 jiu-jitsu champions and then everyone else.
So if Tyson Fury has like some sort of wrestling background we don't know about, that could be helpful. But then Bones Jones might be one of the best wrestlers the UFC's ever seen. In terms of wrestling, I mean, he took down Daniel Cormier many times.
Yeah. He competed in college in wrestling too.
Yeah.
I'm curious about that chart actually because GSP was he was big on karate, and a lot of his stances that he was using the ring were like karate based stances. But they have like one karate champion there. Like that's interesting because MMA though is mixed martial arts. So I wonder. I guess they're saying primary fighting style.
Background, yeah.
Whatever. But dude, yeah, if it was an MMA fight, Jones would win 100%. But it's boxing. Fury's taller. Fury's 270 pounds, and he just chills there. That's like he's just 270.
Right.
Jones has to like get up to that weight. As much as I love Jones, and he's just an amazing mind when it comes to fighting, I don't know.
Andrew, who was the boxer that fought Randy Couture? Do you remember? Is it Tony? Man, I can't remember that name.
In UFC or
thinking
in boxing?
James Tony, but is that the right name? They went at it in UFC. This was a boxer, and
James Tony.
He got made. Randy Couture made quick work of him. All he did like a shot really low with a low single leg, and he just like basically just tugged the back of his heel, and James Tony went down, and it was over. And James Tony was multiple weight class world champion in boxing.
Damn.
And I think that he was training a little bit of MMA stuff. I don't even really know how this fight happened because I don't think he had like a UFC fight officially. See how low he went?
Yeah.
Like most people can't deal with, like if you don't deal with that, most people don't know they're not going to be able to defend that.
Yeah. Dude, wrestling is...
And that's a simple move, right? Like we're not talking, that's not some high level trickery or anything.
That is like...
I mean, it's Randy Couture, so he's...
Yeah. Like if you look at how he just dives in for that, it looks super simple, but there is a lot of technique that goes into that. And this is why, like, wrestlers like really, they love to grill jiu-jitsu people, and that is for good reason. Like, even though it's both grappling, a jiu-jitsu person could maybe submit a wrestler, but a wrestler has just a pure wrestler who doesn't do anything else, just has such dominance on top of somebody and can wrangle people so well. It's a crazy skill to have.
A really high level wrestler, and this is not to say that it can't work the other way, but a really high level wrestler would be able to go into a local jiu-jitsu tournament and probably score some points and probably do quite well.
You could do extremely well.
But the reverse might be a little more difficult. So the jiu-jitsu guy going into a wrestling match because of the points and stuff.
Fuck no. Okay, so this is tough because obviously you gotta depends on the skill of both or whatever. But a jiu-jitsu guy, a jiu-jitsu guy that has only focused on jiu-jitsu and hasn't done any wrestling would go into a wrestling competition and get mopped because it's not like he can go into positions
Different
and submit.
sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going in submissions positions and submitting. You're trying to pin. Whereas a wrestler could go into especially a no-gi jiu-jitsu match, and he might not know necessarily a lot of submissions, but he could definitely control a jiu-jitsu person pretty well. But even so, like if it's rules in jiu-jitsu, there's so many areas where like just a wrestler might not know what to do because it's such a weird fucking jiu-jitsu position, you know?
Be able to score points with takedowns and stuff, but then if he stays down on the ground too long and is not paying attention, then he
gets swept. Yeah. But wrestling is, I wish I had that skill set when I was younger. You can always build it, but it's amazing the way they do things.
Yeah. Definitely going to get my son into wrestling as soon as possible. Yeah, that and jiu-jitsu. Now that I've experienced a little bit of both, yeah, they're both necessary. Yeah.
What is this height thing you were telling me about?
Yo,
People can make themselves taller?
I first saw it from these guys, Abba and Preach. They were talking about it, and then I started looking it up, and yeah, guys are men and women are getting surgery to increase their height, and it's pretty wild because like I sent Andrew a video and I also sent Andrew some images of some guy who does it. It can cost like $70,000-$80,000 for like 3 or 4 inches. Some people have gotten their height up by like 5 or 6 inches, right? But they put something in your bone which slowly lengthens your bone over time.
Maybe it takes a couple years, maybe?
No. You have recovery, but you could be apparently back to doing what you need to do in 2 or 3 months. You know, like they have physical therapy and stuff, and then you could be back to whatever in a few months. But it's so new.
That's amazing. So your bones can like move.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But
I wonder how strong that bone is when it's elongated. Like if maybe it's helpful in some way. Maybe because it's stretched, it gets more nutrients or something. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's way worse.
It's so new though, dude. Like, do you really want to be one of these people who's just like, oh, it's out? The lengthening surgery's out. Okay, let's do it now.
And then where does it stop?
Height is a really interesting thing. I think it's unfortunate. It's like so easy to poke fun at it, but they're literally, you have no control over how tall you are. You don't get to pick how tall you are. There's nothing that someone does wrong in their childhood or something to, and I think it's one of those things. Same thing with being bald. You hear so many comments about being bald. And I think I understand like the joking and stuff. I get it, but I think it's really rude. I think it really is because it's not making fun of someone because their eyesight. Like my eyes are starting to go too. It's just like it's different if you're joking around and it's like recipients. Like we all fuck around.
Yeah.
You know, we can mess around with each other, but I think people should think about it a little bit more. My nephew was talking about how he's like, I'm almost taller than Uncle Boar, and he always tells my brother that he's like short. And so I had to explain to him.
Is this Lachlan?
Lachlan, yeah.
This kid. Yeah. Of course it was him.
I had to explain to him why that's rude, Making fun of somebody, of course, is always kind of rude, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, we come from the same parents. He's not choosing to be that height. You can maybe joke around with him, say, I'm, 11 and or 12 and I'm almost as tall as you or something. But I was like, you don't really need to point it out any further. Like he knows he's not tall. You know what I mean? So
like he didn't just decide and give up. Like
it's the same being born any other ethnicity or race. It's just, those are your parents and that's the color that you came out. And those are the genetics that you get, right?
Yeah, kids love to pay attention to how tall they are in comparison to things.
Yeah.
Like even my nephew.
You're a shrimp.
My nephew's
no filter. No fucking filter, dog. My
nephew is he's like 14, gonna be 15, and he's a tall ass kid, but like I'm not that short, so he's like creeping. I'm like, yeah, dude, this is the last year that I have on you. After this, it's over. And then sure enough, like he's like about to pass me, and like, but at 14 years old, he's still like, oh yeah, like he's all fired up to be the tallest. And like, but understand, you're about to be like 6'5", like you're a big ass kid, and it's just, but to being able to like one up you right now is like, kids love that.
It's part of that master race, man.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of chicks seem to like really like when a guy is tall, right? You hear that from a lot of women. Like what do they have preferences, right? Like, oh, I'd love it if the guy was this, and this. And very rarely are they like, I love it when a guy's 5'5". I'd rather have the guy be 6'5" or 6'3", right? Someone they kind of like look up to, someone that they think can maybe protect them, and maybe the shorter guy could protect them just fine. Maybe the shorter guy could protect them even better.
Yeah,
it is fucked up, because like there's this thing where like, you know, women always have the height thing, but you know, you hear some guys, they'll be like, well, how much you weigh then? And if a woman's gonna come after your height, you should be able to come after her weight. I have no problem with women that are a bit heavier too either. Like, hey, as you hold it well, great. But you can't like it's like
you're picking out a certain
thing.
look.
Yeah,
and like we should both be able to, right?
And all these dating apps too, women are like, they're always like, oh, how tall are you? How tall are you? Which I understand, but don't get mad at a guy if he comes for you for something else.
Some guys don't want girls to be too tall. I would never date someone same height as me or taller than me. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's super funny. So Kenny KO will ask people like you know, the height thing, and they're like, he's got to be, you know, at least 6'4" or whatever, and he himself is like probably 6'3".
Kenny's like 6'3" or 6'4". Yeah, Kenny's a tall man.
So it's pretty funny, and then he'll be like, well, how tall are you? And they're like, you know, whatever, super short.
We got to bring that clip up.
But then he'll be like, yeah, I'm actually only 5'10", and they're like, what? So like he's just trying to like mess with them, and they're just like so confused. It's pretty good. I'll see if I can find something.
Yeah, see if you can find that clip of him talking to Big SC Boy.
Oh, he has Big SC.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
That's on
but
his Instagram.
let's maybe play this first,
okay?
And we'll watch this guy talking about the height surgery.
I had my surgery done 3 months ago. I'd always sort of
Deep
been
voice.
a little bit insecure about my height, to be totally honest. So I wasn't like super short. I was like 5'7", but then I sort of thought to myself, like, I really feel like I'd benefit from just like a few more inches, because then I'd be transitioning from like slightly under average height to like slightly above average height.
How much do you think you spent in total? Like surgery, hotel, everything?
So it was about 20,000 euros. So it's quite a lot. In England, the surgery is like 4 times the price. Same with like America. I think it's like $100,000 in America or something. There's obviously initial pain, like after the surgery, where they like cut the bone in half and insert the fixators. So it sounds like very like a torture sort of thing, but you know, I got put to sleep, and then you wake up and it's all done sort of thing, and then you're on painkillers anyway. So it's like, it's not like excruciating, let's say. It's not intolerable. I had my surgery done 3 months ago. I don't.
Wow.
I want, like, man, this shit's new. Like, 10 years down the road, you're gonna be doing shit. Like, how are you gonna be doing? We don't
go to
know.
Jump and something breaks or something. That would be crazy.
We don't fucking know. You know, we do know that bone's pretty resilient, and like impact stuff to bone can help it come back stronger. So we know that maybe this can work in that way, but
your bones can like grow. Like I heard Boss Rutan talking about kicking bags and building up like shin strength and like bone integrity via like kicking hard. Like imagine like you just whack your shin on something, like that usually hurts.
Have you ever seen the clips of Muay Thai fighters kicking bamboo?
Yeah, just kicking like a post or something, or kicking whatever. There's just their shins are like metal.
Yeah, because they do that over time. It's just like they've built up, it's calcified so much that shit it's just such a weapon. Yeah. You know, it's insane. But
you see fighters and stuff too. They can they can punch a wall, it doesn't hurt their hand. They can punch concrete, it doesn't bother them. So it is interesting. You can like, you know, strengthen and kind of reshape your bones. But I do think there's a lot of people that would probably love to be a little bit taller. But yeah, I wonder what the what the blowback is from this kind of thing.
That is pretty like life changing. This isn't. I heard
if you go from 5'5" to being like 5'8", 5'9", like that's a game changer.
you're going through life in a total, like, first off,
Different perspective.
you literally
You see life differently.
see things differently, but then people see you differently. Like, imagine going from a guy who was like 5'7", and now now you, because like some people have increased their height 5 to 6 inches, so now you're 6 feet.
Yeah.
And women are looking at you differently. People in your life are probably like, what the fuck happened to you? But everybody is now looking at you in some crazy positive way just because you're a few inches taller.
For a man, it might be the equivalent of like a boob job,
A BBL.
right?
That's
Ooh.
that's like magic ass right
little
there.
little BBL and a little boob job.
That's what the guy from Abba and Preach mentioned. He mentioned it's very similar to that. I don't want to act like I came up with that, but it is very similar. Like, women are getting injections to like not just injections, they're getting fat taken from here and put here, and now they have just these wild bodies. And now guys, men and women, can just get 6 inches
Hey now,
out of nowhere.
Andrew, you gonna get taller?
No,
You're
I'm
pretty
not gonna
tall.
get taller.
Come on, bro.
I'm feeling pretty good where I'm at.
In 15 years, there's probably going to be some cool cybernetics that are pretty decent. If you guys had the option, would you get, I mean, I feel like, fuck, like if you could get like cybernetics put in,
Oh,
would y'all do that?
What's cybernetics?
Like think of like a,
like Terminator type shit. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
Oh, just to make you a little bit, yeah.
they could definitely make you taller too, but like think about like you could replace,
Like never get armbarred.
right? You could replace a limb with like a mechanical limb or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Or like your joints or something. They would just be better, stronger, faster.
It would just have to be for something. Like, let's just I don't know how this stuff works, but like if some part of my body got like cancer or something, and it's like, yeah, lop that shit off and put the better one on. But like if I'm good, then I don't think I would need to go through with that. Yeah.
We're probably going to be able to get like new eyes soon at some point.
There's eye drops right now that
Yeah.
improve your eyesight for like I think 6 to 8 hours. Just little eye drops, like it's like a peptide. You drop in your eye, and it's instead of putting readers on, you can see a lot. I don't know what it does. I don't know what the drawback is. I'm sure there's always
Something.
with a little positive, there's always like a little negative. But there is all kinds of shit out there now. I've heard also too that the military has like ectoskeletal stuff. So it's stuff that you can basically put on to make you a lot stronger. We were just talking to a guy today who was in the military, and he said he carried like 100-pound pack. In the future, those guys will be able to put on like a suit. That
exoskeleton? Is that what it's called? An exoskeleton?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but it's
Yeah,
basically
exterior skeleton.
the skeleton of like an ant. An ant has like an outer skeletal frame that allows them to carry X amount over their body weight or whatever. So this would be a similar thing for a human. You would carry around. You might be able to carry around 200 or 300 pounds and have it have almost literally like no impact on you, or it might even feel lighter. So you might weigh, if you weighed yourself with all your stuff on, you might weigh 300 pounds.
Yeah.
But the net of it and the way it feels in your body, including your body, might only feel like 150 pounds.
Yeah.
So imagine how much longer you could be out there doing military tactics or whatever, and then to build stuff into your own body is really interesting. And then you got like things like Neuralink, and like, is Neuralink going to be able to make you, like, let's just say, produce more force? Like if it's doing stuff to your brain where you can think faster and you have access to stuff quicker, where it's like it's like implanting a phone into your head, and there's information there. It won't be too long before they figure out, like, how do we tap into like the central nervous system to be able to just turn it on to be able to sprint faster or jump higher.
It's going to be really interesting because like a lot of this stuff, it's amazing, but you wonder if like people are going to end up trying to like work on their bodies less.
It's sketch.
Or improve themselves less. Exactly, right? Because, for example, an exoskeleton, if that became something that the mass market and you could just wear something that can allow you to just, I don't know, pick things up more, then why even bother getting stronger? Right? I mean, for your longevity, of course, but a lot of these things just like, I don't know.
You might have to like have a certain amount of like actual, like, I don't know, some form of like muscle tissue in order for the thing to like push into.
Yeah.
Like if you're just jello, that exoskeleton's gonna just like fucking like Swiss cheese you.
Power Project family, we talk about eating meat all the time on this podcast. Pause. But sometimes you might want to eat some different meat. Pause. You might want to eat duck, chicken, Japanese A5 Wagyu. You might want to change things up. That's why we've partnered with Good Life Proteins, which also has certified Piedmontese beef on their website. Now, all you have to do is head to goodlifeproteins.com and you can select Build a Box with all of the proteins that you want. Then you'll select Subscribe and Save to save money on all of your meat. Pause. Enter code POWERPROJECT to save an extra 5% on any subscription you select. So if you want to get your beef every 2 weeks, you'll be able to save 25% on all of your meat. Again, that's goodlifeproteins.com. Links are in the description along with the podcast show notes.
Both of you guys are prepping for competition. Anything different food-wise, anything different training-wise over the last few weeks? Is there anything that you guys try to avoid as contest gets closer, or anything that you add?
Before that,
Oh my God.
I don't know. This might be on the website by the time we talk
You're
about
trying
it.
to show everybody your lats?
No, I'm showing them the back
Look
of the
at
shirt.
the size of the lats on this guy.
Yes.
Angle more towards this
Making
one
the
right
world
here.
a better place to live.
The other way. A little bit more. Well, bam, right there. Yep.
New Power Project t-shirt.
That shit's dope.
Brand new.
You can see Mark. That's the front of the shirt right there. Right,
Mm-hmm.
guys. This is sick. I'm wearing a 2XL.
Because you're big.
Go cop it if you like it. I know you like it.
I was pretty proud the other day. I threw on my 2XL and I'm like, you know what? I've been doing a lot of running and I'm still filling this out pretty good.
Nice.
I'm hanging in there.
Yeah,
for
you
some
guys are
reason,
big.
We're still not like Kenny,
No. Well,
who can put on a 5XL shirt and make it look fairly normal.
I don't understand that guy.
He makes no sense.
It's so funny when he's 11% body fat. And he's like, I'm fatter than the moon.
And it's his first time being this body weight.
He's 244, like 5'11 or 5'10. Jesus.
Dude,
He's a monster.
he's a beast. Yeah.
Yeah, he was all like bummed. I'm like, well, next time you go, you should weigh 250 and see if you can be the same body fat percentage or maybe even tiny bit lower.
Mhm.
Keep getting bigger,
Bigger, bigger.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. As far as my prep, I upped the repetitions per week that I touched the mats. So I was doing 3. So then I bumped that up to 4. And then I also included some Saturday training, which I normally would just leave for lifting. Started doing some takedown stuff with a wrestler because, I quickly realized I have a huge hole in my game, which is the stand up and then takedowns and stuff. Because in my head, I was like, well, I'll just pull guard. But after going to 2 different tournaments, I noticed that for some people that pull guard on a Masters,
You both go to do it at the same time.
there's that. But also, people were pulling guard because they don't know how to do takedowns. And then on top of that, a Masters, whatever you call it, roll or you fight, they're only 5 minutes long. And so if you pull guard and you can't really get a sweep or you can't do much to reverse the situation or to make it look like you're trying to do something, the person on top might just appear to look like he's winning, even if he doesn't score anything. And he could he could get the the win based off of like
Points and stuff.
Yeah, but even just by looking like he's doing something, even if he's not.
Trying to advance his position.
Yes, yeah,
And you're
because
just
he's
on your
at-
back, not doing much.
Playing defense the whole time. So that's something I recognize, and I'm like, yeah, I need to practice this. So that's what I implemented recently. Food hasn't changed. Still crushing eggs and steak every day. That's been it. Yeah.
Your DEXA's improved. Like,
DEXA improved a lot. Yeah, that was huge. I don't know exactly what it was before, but basically my body fat went down, overall weight went down.
15, your body went from
So it was like, I don't remember if it was like 15 or 16.
I think it was like 15 and a half or
15.
something like that. Yeah.
Down to 12.5%, which is really cool because I was like, anything under 14, I think will be a huge win. And I really don't care where it was because my body weight is where it should be and I feel pretty good. And it was at 12.5%. So I'm like, all right, for not really focusing on trying to lose anything, like that just happened. Bone density went up, I was actually really happy about because before I think it was like right at the 1 of whatever, like there's a
The T-score.
Yeah, T-score. There's like -2, which is osteoporosis, I think. -1 is like osteo something. And then 0 is like, okay, you're doing fine, but you need to work on it. 1 is like normal, and I was below the 1, and now I'm over the 1.
There we go.
Like almost to the 2 even. So that's really cool.
I want to say that's actually a really big deal though, because like people think that your bone density is just going to start getting worse as you get older. And you are 38, right? And the past year, since you've gotten your DEXA scan done, you've implemented your jiu-jitsu, you've been lifting, and your bone density has increased, and your your lean mass, I think overall has gone up too.
Yeah. I can just pull it up really quick. But yeah, my overall muscle went up and my overall fat went down. And that's just like, I'm still not lifting like with the barbell or anything. So that's all, again, with the bone density, like that's freaking cool that happened. Yeah. So I was really stoked to see all of that. And again, that's just from crushing a bunch of eggs, steak, and jiu-jitsu and lifting.
And you've been doing jiu-jitsu for about 6 months.
Yeah, it'll be last November. So I can't do math, but like 7 months, almost 8.
And the amount of lifting that you've done in that time is probably not like through the roof, right?
No, yeah, it's diminished, yeah, quite a bit.
Like you are lifting, but it's less. And then more recently, you ran into a thingy where you had to stop lifting for just a moment. But for the most part, it's been jiu-jitsu that has increased your bone density, helped increase your muscle mass along with some lifting. And seem to just really just pull body fat off.
Oh, yeah.
Strip body fat right off of you.
Yeah, it's the first time in my life where I'm getting this like drenched in sweat several times a week. Whereas before it was like,
I remember
that was just like maybe like a cardio day or something.
I remember seeing that happen to you when you started jiu-jitsu, like when you was getting like more into it. When I started going, I think more often, you leaned out quite a bit.
Yeah. I started jiu-jitsu at like 263, and I just slowly kept dropping weight, and I think like 2.5 years in, 250 was just my weight. But over the years since then, I've still been 250, but my body composition has continued getting better at 250. So still the same weight, but like even with DEXA scans, lean body mass has slowly been increasing. The body fat stays between like 8%. I think the last time I got it done this recent time was like 9.5%. So my body fat stays between there and maybe 11% body fat. But things have just slowly continued to get better with it, But I do think it's really fucking awesome, man, that like those things have increased and your training volume in the gym has actually gone down a little bit, but by grappling, your body has just gotten better.
Yeah, well, it's putting it in like, so when we talk about like getting into a squat for bone density, it's like, well, hey, if you don't stand up, you're gonna get crushed.
Yeah.
So I think maybe some of that with jiu-jitsu where it's like, dude, if I gotta flip this guy over me or I'm fucked, so it's like, let's do it. And so just doing that over and over and over.
There's a lot of pulling and pushing and compressing going on.
And a lot of that stretching that you were talking about too.
Yeah.
That can happen. So yeah, no, I'm stoked. And yeah, so the lifting went from basically 6 days a week down to 3, down to even less. But the jiu-jitsu stuff has just been increasing. So it's just getting more fun for sure too. Yeah.
And you have 0 visceral fat.
Yeah, what the heck? I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah. It's visceral fat is fat stored around your vital organs.
Yeah, I thought that like it needed some.
Yeah. Graham also has 0 visceral fat. He got his DEXA scan done, but apparently you want to have like less than a pound. You don't want more than a pound of visceral fat.
Like around your organs and
around
stuff,
your
right?
organs,
like you're around your heart and your liver, kidneys, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
And then there was another metric where it like showed a picture of an apple and a pear. And apparently you want to look more like a pear because you want less fat in your stomach and more on your hips and your butt.
Yeah.
Kenny's was backwards, and so he got all frustrated about that too. He's like very nitpicky with everything.
Both Graham and I were like shaped like a woman in that way. We're pears.
Yeah, so I was a pear. Yeah, I had less in my tummy and more in my hips.
Kenny's gonna be off the charts everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's gonna be a little different. Anything like, is there anything that you change, like when you're doing this, when you're getting ready for like a world competition in Nsima? Is there anything where you, I don't know, try to make it a point to cold plunge more, or try to make it a point to I mean, you're always working on your sleep. You're always working on a lot of stuff. So I don't know if there's anything to like really refine, but is it like you have to pay attention to your schedule more or free up time? I know like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you've been pretty diligent about traveling to jiu-jitsu or getting to certain classes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think one thing that's just kind of like really pushed me forward has been having the opportunity to go train in San Jose with Mason and those guys. Haven't been able to go the past few weeks just because some things over there, but like training with them has really improved my game drastically, where it's like just by having that experience of getting mopped those few times, like I've been able to fill in a lot of holes in my game and get rid of certain bad habits because I was able to get away with those habits with some of the people I usually train with. But other than my training frequency is high, it's been high for a while. So I'm doing jujitsu. There are some days where it's two times a day, but it's at minimum. I'm having at minimum 5 sessions, but usually I'm getting on average 6, and some weeks it'll be like 7 or 8. Still getting lifts in. I'm using, since I'm lucky, I have a Planet Fitness right next to my house, and I do use the equipment at my house a lot for lifting stuff. I have this, there's this really cool machine, Mr. Infinity sent it to me. It's called a Nord X. Andrew, if you type that in, NORD/EX, it's a Nordic bench, but it also can transition into a lower back extension.
Oh, nice.
So
like a 45-degree back raise.
45-degree back raise.
Sick.
It's fucking amazing. So I've been using that a lot too. But overall, I think the big things has been obviously training frequency. I'm really on top of my recovery, but I usually am. I cold plunge the same amount as I used to, but I really make sure to use it on days that I'm really feeling like mopped. I'll make sure to cold plunge because that just, by the next day, I'm just feeling really, really good. And I think with all the things that we've been doing as far as like the flexibility stuff, the getting into certain positions, all this stuff, my body really feels overall just unlocked all the time, which I think is, that's that Nordex thing.
Sick.
Yeah. It's pretty fucking cool. But like, I feel like no position is weird or painful for me, which I don't think used to be like the case. I think there'd be some times where I'd get into certain positions and I'd be uncomfortable, but right now I'm improving too, but my body's just unlocked, man. The back's unlocked. Everything just feels really good. So I'm excited. And I think I'm just focusing on just performing as good as I possibly can. I don't know what the outcome's going to be. I'm going there to try to win. But I'm just going to, like John Carlo, when he was here, he mentioned focus on performance. I'm just going to focus on performance and do what I know how to do.
Is there anything that you maybe pull back on as you get closer to a competition?
No. The only thing I pull back on is the week of. I won't roll as much. So next week is going to be when the comp is. I'm going to I'll train on Monday. I won't roll on Tuesday, but I'll probably, get a walk-in, and then I travel on Wednesday, and then I roll on Thursday, So I'm just going to back off a little bit, but I haven't backed off. On lifting in the gym, my lifting is different now, but I haven't stopped because that's the thing that keeps everything feeling good. That keeps my body feeling resilient. That keeps everything pumped. So I don't back off of training in the gym because that's just something that allows my body to be resilient with all the other training I do. If I back off from that, that's an easy way for me to tweak something, So I keep that in.
Does any of your lifting, maybe like within the last year or two, does any of it make you like sore or make you like tight or uncomfortable anyway? Do you push it to that level? And then if you don't push it to that level, how do you know like what's good enough work?
Tight? No. Sore? Yes. So I'll get sore, but nothing I do makes me feel like I can't move. I can move into those places, but like
sore.
It's just sore. You know what I mean? The way I know things are working is if, for example, like the things I was doing to open up my shoulders and my T-spine for the back bridge, if things like that get easier to do, if like the long range rows that we've been we were talking about before the show, like really allowing myself to lengthen out, right, and pull in, I know those are improving if I can start doing heavier weight easier and easier, right? So like now I can really, when I'm talking about the long range row, by the way, guys, I know some of you guys are listening, but with a cable machine, I'll let all of this lengthen out. I'll kind of let my shoulder also come out too. And I'll come to that long range of motion. Usually I'm also stretching through my back also. And then I'll row it here and I'll bring it all the way
feel
back.
a little weird. Like it feels like your shoulder's like, not like out of socket, but yeah, close to that, right?
Yeah, it's at the longest range
weird,
you can
yeah.
manage. You know, you're not, because usually when people talk about rowing, you know, lock the shoulder into place, row, right? With the things I'm doing, I'm allowing everything to kind of uncoil. I'm using the weights to allow it to take my body to the longest range I can. And I'm also stretching at my back too, so I can feel that stretch come all through my back. Then I'm coming back in. So I know it's progressing when, first off, it gets easier to do more sets. It gets easier to load a little bit more weight. And even getting to that position isn't nearly as strenuous as it was when I started. So there's still soreness, but when I finish all my lifts, I don't feel tight. I don't feel like, I just fucked myself up in any type of way. If anything, I feel better, and I feel like things are, the way I lift now, it just allows my body to lengthen.
And you use pretty good weight, I noticed, when you're doing something. Like it seemed like you need like X amount of weight to challenge you because you're athletic and strong and stuff. But somebody might, like if you were to write down like the most amount of weight you lifted, it wouldn't seem or sound impressive most likely because you're handling different implements and you're on a machine or something, or you're doing something for reps. So it's not like, you know, if you wrote down your heaviest weight that you lifted in the last 3 months, like it might be, maybe you squatted, maybe you did something.
It'll only be the heaviest weight would be something on a box squat, which would be like 3 plates.
Right. And I think people would be like, whoa, that's then they're going to think that you lift light, but that's not really the case. You're still utilizing heavy weights for particular movements, but they're not so heavy that they're making your body tight and stiff. And it's not necessarily like a deadlift and a bench press, right?
Yeah. Like you mentioned, the heaviest weight probably mentioned is going to be three plates on a box squat, right? But with all the movements that I'm doing, everything is going to push me. Everything's going. I'm going to get a lot out of those movements. I go to a point where like not at failure. Sometimes I'll go to failure, but like not there, but close. But all of it's meant to be so that later on in that day I can go roll and I can roll effectively, because the lifting and the rolling are typically done on the same day. So I'll still beat my body up in the gym to a point though that I can still have a good roll later on in the day. But the thing is like my body is still able to progress from those types of lifts. I don't even on the cable machines, I could do something lighter, but I'm going to have way higher reps and I'll still be able to get something out of it just because I'm able to connect to that movement in a better way.
And you might use a 80-pound kettlebell or something like that, or like what when you use kettlebells?
I haven't been touching kettlebells like much the past few months. But like, yeah, if I was doing stuff with those, it'd be like maybe it could range anywhere from like the 40-pound kettlebell with certain movements to, but yeah, the 80-pound with certain things. But it's a range. The interesting thing about the weight thing is like, yeah, working with heavyweight's good, but there's a lot you can do with lighter loads. And I think that
you probably get a similar result in a lot of ways, especially when you're already strong.
Especially when you're already strong. But I think that like, I don't know, you kind of underestimate what you can do with lighter weights or the amount of activation you can get with lighter weights, right? But it's super, yeah. I've just been amazed with kind of like everything we've been learning, how much of a difference it's been making. Even the aspects on the breathing side of things. You know, we were talking about it in the gym, and we talked about this with Belisa Vranich on the show. But you mentioned the Boss Rutan episode of the Joe Rogan Experience recently, and how he was talking about, you know, breathing in here, right? And most people that lift, they want to, and most people
Shoulder
in fitness, they're not even shoulder breathing on purpose. They're shoulder breathing because they're always keeping their abs flexed. You know, like if I'm walking around normally, my shit looks like that. I'm not flexed right now, but most people in fitness want to like always be right here, walking around.
Be slim and ripped.
And what does that cause though? That causes you to breathe up here, and that fucks with everything. I was talking to Andrew, like, imagine if you were walking around, but your bicep was always flexed at 25%. So how much can you really do with a bicep flexed like this, right? You can go like this, but you can't be, you know what I mean? Like you need to be able to move through there. And if you, like when I do that, when I lift too, I'm able to feel so much more versus if I'm always rigid like a fucking can, right? That's one thing that I think just has allowed everything to no tightness in the back, no tightness anywhere, because everything's just chill and relaxed. It makes it took some time, but it's I'm just so pumped to see how things continue to progress. Power Project family, quality sleep can make everything with your health and fitness easier, which is why we've partnered with Hostage Tape. Now, we've been talking about mouth tape for years and nasal breathing for years. But one of the problems that we've had with tape is we all like to rock facial hair, and a lot of the mouth tapes we would use would fall off of our face at night. Hostage Tape doesn't fall off your face if you have a beard or if you're not a man and you don't. I'm joking. You don't need a beard, right? But either way, Hostage Tape makes sense. It'll stick to your face when you're asleep. You'll have better quality sleep because you're breathing through your nose all night long. It is a no-brainer. And if you head to hostagetape.com/powerproject, you'll be able to get the Power Project annual deal, which is a year's supply of Hostage Tape for 55 cents a day. You'll be saving $150 on the typical yearly deal. You're going to get 2 free tins and a blindfold. It's a no-brainer. So head there right now and get yourself some Hostage Tape. Links in the description along with the podcast show notes. Shut your fucking mouth when you sleep. Enjoy the show.
You've been messing around with a little bit of jumping too the last couple months, like just jumping rope. And
Oh, yeah.
do you do other types of jumps too? Or has it mainly been just that?
I mean, if I'm taking walks, I'll jump up
yeah.
and like that. That's what I'll do. When I take walks, I'll fucking see like tree leaves.
I
and
actually,
shit.
since you told me that, I've been messing with some of that, and I forgot how uncoordinated I can feel sometimes, especially like trying to jump off a different foot.
Oh, that's,
yeah, trying to jump off like my right versus my left, and then stopping and like jumping off both feet, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Like
But it feels good.
Yeah, but think about this. A lot of times we think that we'll have to do a box jump if we want to like do some jumping high. But if you're on a walk, can you just like look at a tree and see if you can touch that high and do that a few times on your walk? Boom, you're getting in some jumping volume. But I do a lot of jump roping, and that's been super helpful for the ankle because like something happened to that ankle on a takedown once, but now it's 100%, and everything's just feeling really springy because I just make sure to get hops in every single day.
And these guys are helping you too, right?
Fuck yeah. Yeah, this is from Gripzilla, but you guys can also get grippers from like fucking Captains of Crush or whatever, but I use these all the time. I have a pair in the car, I have a pair at home, just fucking gripping shit all the time. All the stuff adds up, but it's just because it's all baked into the day. You know, we bake this stuff into everything that we do, so we don't have to necessarily think about it. We don't have to program it. It makes taking care of yourself and improving as an athlete much easier.
Have you guys noticed like that maybe your sleep is improving or something like that with the amount of activity through jiu-jitsu, or does it make you, I know you still have like a 2-year-old, so there's some stuff with that, but I noticed for myself with running, and there's kind of like a theory I had a little while back. I'm like, if I just get myself to breathe harder, I think this whole sleep thing will be a lot easier. And it's kind of working out that way. Like I'll have some nights that are kind of sketchy, but I don't know why, but for whatever reason, when I sleep like maybe like 6 hours, my sleep score will be good because my sleep quality will be high. When I try to sleep longer, for whatever reason, it's poor. You know, it's not very good. And you know, these things that track your sleep and stuff, it's not great to be overly attached to them, but hopefully over time, you're starting to see a result or see something that's trending in the right direction. And I noticed like little things like my resting heart rate is pretty low. It's like 46. That's like while I'm sleeping.
Dude, that's fucking crazy when you said your resting heart rate's at 46 because you're 235, 200.
Yeah, I'm still around 230.
230, resting heart rate of 46. My resting heart rate's usually when it's good, it's like 52 or 53. Some nights it'll be 56 or whatever, but it's never gone down to 46. I think that's a testament to just how beneficial long distance running has been for you.
Yeah, I think it's been amazing. And then just the last couple of weeks, I've been really just practicing like running with my heart rate even like lower than normal. And then I'll actually look at my watch and I'll look at the heart rate and I'll say, okay, how can you calm down even more than where you're going? Obviously you can go slower, but I'm already going pretty slow. So I'm like, you can't go much slower than this. So let me see if I can just breathe differently or kind of move differently. And I watched a video where a guy was just talking about like your running efficiency and how connected it is to like your breathing and how connected it can be to your heart rate. So every once in a while when you're running, you start to feel good and you get kind of lost in it. I'm like, oh shit, I need to check my. But when I lose track of what I'm doing, my heart rate is still really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because you get in like a little bit of like a flow. I'm relaxed. I'm not trying to think about running fast. I'm not really thinking about my heart rate anymore. So therefore it's not. But if I sit there and try to like make my heart rate go lower with some breathing, I mean, I kind of can do it. But again, my only option is to really just like slow down. And so it's kind of like a learning process. But I think over time, the sprints that I'm doing on the bike, some of the other stuff that I'm messing with, and the running that I'm doing, I think is going to help my sleep tremendously over the next couple months and years.
To have a resting heart rate when you're sleeping already, though, that's a, because I think most guys in your position, maybe their resting heart rate when they're asleep's like at 60, right? And you're already, your sleep is improving so much with that. That's why I think I should probably, like your suggestion of adding in a few just light long distance runs will be helpful. The main thing is I just need to keep it light.
Yeah.
I think that's the tough thing because, like,
you got to intentionally run slow. It's actually kind of annoying.
I know.
It's kind of annoying how slow you run. Like, it honestly is annoying.
Yeah. But it's going to be, it can be so helpful at like improving that gas tank in that way. Because I'll do a lot of the bike sprints and I do jiu-jitsu, but those longer distance runs and keeping it chill, that will be helpful. You just need to actually do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How about for you, Andrew? Any improvements like in other just aspects of? I guess we'll stick to sleep and then we can go into some other stuff.
I mean, I always, since forever, have been able to fall asleep very, very fast, and so that has not changed. Staying asleep, I my sleep is weird because like if I tell you, hey, I fall asleep within seconds, I don't wake up in the middle of the night. And then my alarm or the bed goes off. The bed starts vibrating and wakes me up. The 8 sleep mattress wakes me up, and then I get up. You'd be like, dude, that sounds awesome. But I snore still. I'm still trying to figure that out. I go through weird periods where I don't snore at all, and then all of a sudden it's like a loud bear. So I don't know how good the sleep actually is. Like, it's almost like maybe I am just sedated because I'm freaking tired from the day. The last time I checked, my like average resting heart rate while I was asleep was 50. So that's great. But as the day goes on, like it's sort of like if you are tired and you have like a bunch of caffeine and then all of a sudden you crash from it, that's what my days feel like. So, and that's gotten worse with jiu-jitsu because I do it early in the morning. So like from probably about 4 a.m. to about 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. That's like my whole day. Like my whole energy day is spent. And then after that, it's like, whew, we still have a couple more hours left, so it's rough. So getting to bed earlier is going to help because again, as soon as I touch the bed, I'm passed out. But yeah, I have to figure out how to keep the energy level sustained longer, and I think, the training just takes a lot out of me. I was explaining that to a buddy of mine when it came to like days of lifting versus days of rolling. He's like, oh, why don't you just do both? And I'm like, well, I can do both, but jiu-jitsu takes out so much that like I can't really even like I can't function towards the end of the day. And so that part's been a really hard adjustment for me. So that's the stuff that I still need to work on. And like I said, I think it's just still a lot. It's a lot for my body and something I have not yet fully acclimated to, even though it's been like 7 months.
When do you usually go to bed?
So that's the thing I need to work on. But anywhere from like 9 to 10. Yeah. If I can get there, if I can switch that to 8 to 9, I think that would make a huge difference for me.
See if you can try like 15 minutes first. See if you can try to go to bed like 15 minutes. Just lower that whole thing by 15 minutes first. And then you can try another 15, and before you know it, you'll be down by like half an hour, which would make a big difference.
Yeah, if I can make it like 5 p.m., that'd be great. I would love that.
There's this video, you guys, Brian Johnson, not Liver King, the other Brian Johnson. He made a video on his sleep routine, and there's a few things in there that he talked about that are surprisingly and can be. I need to be trying it, some of it too. That can be surprisingly good for like your HRV and helping you fall asleep. One thing he does is he listens to theta waves, which you can literally just listen to from Spotify and headphones. And he said, I think out of the whole video, that was the one thing that he's been doing for the past few weeks that has actually really calmed him down and like has improved his HRV immediately, listening to theta waves before he went to sleep.
What's your HRV supposed like? What's a good reading for it?
Yeah.
Any idea?
Usually for people, everyone's HRV varies, is what they say, but a higher HRV is generally better and means you're better recovered. So somewhere between, especially for younger people too, somewhere between maybe 50, 60, somewhere around there. My HRV is like perpetually low. Sometimes it'll be in like the 40s or whatever, but a lot of times it's in the 20s, which is something that like I've been trying. And the one thing that I notice is like the earlier I'm to bed, the better my HRV is. But I've been trying to really work on that and figure out things that are going to help my HRV out, because even though I feel great, blood work's good, all that type of shit, having a low HRV is concerning to me.
Do you have a
So-
do you have a access to VO2 max anywhere on any of your things?
I don't think so.
Because
I don't
Joel
know.
Joel Jameson, he's got his own thing. He's got Morpheus.
I bought
which-
Morpheus and I haven't set it up yet.
Yeah. So he said that Morpheus is going to give you a much more accurate HRV.
Mhm.
I think something's probably just off or inaccurate with some sort of assessment of yours, because you got to be.
Yeah, because what'd you say yours was in your HRV?
My HRV, it's like, I think last night it was like maybe a 23, but sometimes, especially on like, if I train a lot, it can sometimes be 16, but I get a full night's sleep. And then when it's high, my HRV will be maybe like 35 to 40, but I'm 30. Like,
Yeah, he
that
tries.
HRV's low.
Yeah, he tries to say, what Joel points out is that these devices, they're guessing. They're guessing based off a lot of other analytics, and it's not always so accurate. That shouldn't be disheartening to people. I think that these tracking devices are a good metric to look at, but I think you need to look at it and, for yourself, you can be like, okay, well, blood pressure's not high. I'm pretty healthy here. I'm pretty, you could talk yourself down and be like, I'm pretty sure I'm good. But I'm going to try out Morpheus as well. He sent me the strap, and so I got to.
It's like shaped like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I have the chest strap too. I bought it, so I just had to set it up and try it out too.
Yeah, I got to mess around with some of that stuff. But my HRV, I think like last night, I don't know what it normally is, but it was like 65.
Yeah, you sent me a few of your HRV things before, and your HRV is always in a very good zone, right? So I'm like, what am I doing? Because my Oura
I don't think
ring,
you're missing anything, bro.
No.
my Oura ring and my
Yeah.
app, my 8 Sleep,
Yeah,
both
'cause
track.
you're extremely fit.
Yeah, they both track the HRV the same. So this will say the same thing, pretty much close to the 8 Sleep.
Oh,
so
nice.
it's not like they're giving me wonky readings. So I don't know. Like I just need to keep testing things out. But that video by Brian Johnson, I don't know what it was titled. Maybe we can put it in the description. But that's a good video to look at because he talked about a bunch of sleep things that have been pretty beneficial for him.
Yeah, I have a white noise thing that has been great, and my body associates the noise with going to sleep. So even if it's not like some woo woo extra thing that helps, it's like it just sends a signal like, yeah, it's time to go to bed.
Routine. Yeah, we have one for my son, and since we're all in the same room, I hear it too.
Mine's like music and waves and like all kinds of shit going on.
Yeah. So like last night, this morning, I should say, I woke up feeling pretty good, and last night my HRV was 68, and so like even my Garmin watch was like, oh, you hit 100. Like I never get my like body battery up to 100. But again, here we are at 12, and like I really need this monster because like I'm like, man, I still got a lot of work that I have left to do, and I'm like, this is gonna be another long day, which is weird because like I didn't even wake up to train, but I still feel the same like if I did train this morning.
I hate that.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing. That's my worst nightmare and my worst day right there is being like, I'm going to sleep in a little extra. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, the whole day I'll be exhausted.
You got hit by a truck.
Yeah. What the fuck is that? That's the worst.
I do like though, Andrew, like you're in a position right now, 7 months into jiu-jitsu. There's no way you're going to be acclimated to that stress yet. It takes a while.
Yeah.
There's going to be a point where this shit just rolls off your back in terms of the how it beats your body up. but you're also now getting ready for a competition. So then you've increased your training frequency. So like, you know, you've put on a lot of these new stressors kind of fast.
True, yeah.
So, I mean, the way you're feeling right now isn't the way you'd normally feel. If you like, you know what I mean? But you know, the reason why you're putting yourself here is because you're about to compete. So you know, you get that. But
yeah, you put on like a 20-pound weight vest, and then just a couple weeks ago, you slapped another one on.
Yeah, that's the perfect analogy, right?
Yeah, true.
So
true.
You're like, oh man,
right
I've got
now,
used to this. Feel great, you know, and then poof, throw another one on you.
What changed? I don't get it. Guys, I'm tired. But all right, I get you.
You know, so the way you're feeling right now, dog, you're not gonna feel like that shit forever.
What do you got over there?
What is that?
I know I'm showing you guys a lot of stuff.
God.
Look at these sandals.
These are the new power sandals that are going to be coming out soon.
Whoosh. Imagine getting kicked in the face with these. Whoosh. Shit would hurt.
It could really just like
These
throw
are
that.
careful.
These are great when our Shama buddy was telling us about, you know, like running in sandals, and he kept talking about I'm like, he sent them to us.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not running in these things. Like, there's no way that it works. It's going to totally hurt my feet and all that. He was right. I went for a little run. I think it was last year when I was in Hawaii, and sure enough, he was right. It's like one of the greatest things I've ever run in.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
Dude. Yeah. So these are the V2 power sandals. Now they're still flat sole, but now it's a tan sole. Vibram, wide toe box, adjustable so you can fit it however you want. But I like this color. So we're still going to have the black ones on the website, where if you want black on black, but if you want black on tan, it'll be at powerproject.live soon. If it's not there already.
It might be there, so you should probably run over there and check before they sell out again.
Yeah. If it's there, it'll be in our description box.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Andrew, anything else with noticing like changes? Like, so your body fat changed drastically. Like, what about like mindset and things like that? You did mention that you're kind of tired, but that seems to be par for the course according to Nsima over here. So anything else?
Yeah, dude, absolutely. So two things come to mind. The first one is because we talk about like the jiu-jitsu community or being a part of a community, CrossFit, that sort of thing. Like it's pretty cool. Like a buddy of mine came over the other day to just jump in the cold plunge because, you know, his body's feeling it, and, you know, he listens to the podcast, so he understands the benefits. And he's just like, dude, like, you can always just tell me no if like it doesn't work out. I'm like, dude, trust me, I love this. Like, I love hanging out. And like, I never would do that before jiu-jitsu. Like, I don't know, I kept to myself and didn't mind it. You know, I didn't care.
All three of us are that way. A little bit. Like, people probably don't know. We don't really hang out.
I just like,
and we hang out a lot here.
Yeah.
Like, we spend a lot of extra time with each other here. We'll go on walks and stuff, but.
Yeah, we were the people that would sign, let's hang out this summer, and then, you know, never hung out. You know, like in school, right?
So many of my friends would fucking grill me on that shit. You're right.
Yeah, I never did that. Yeah, anyway, so like stuff like that is really cool. Like, you know, we're in text threads, so like that in and of itself has like helped raise my mood, because like you're hanging out with your friends all the time. Like, that's really cool. And like I said before that, I was fine. Like, I don't mind hanging out alone. I actually like really, really enjoy just being by myself. But also now having like a crew, like, it's really cool. Like, we all know we all have like one mission to get better at jiu-jitsu. We all meet at 5:30 and like we all get it in, and it's been really fun. And then the confidence that you gain when you train jiu-jitsu, like, that's been gigantic. And again, I'm not looking for like an excuse to, to practice it on somebody or anything like that.
Come at me, bro.
But I hear people talking, you know, it's like, oh, if that was me, I would have knocked him out, or, you know, whatever. Like, I take all those people out. And like, dude, like, you don't train anything.
You don't even go to the gym and lift.
You don't even go on
much
walks,
less work on takedowns.
Right.
Takedown defense.
You know, and so it's like the extra
you don't even
sense,
go on walks.
the extra sense of calmness, you know, just amongst other, you know, humans. You know, again, like I said, I like being alone. There's a reason for it, because I didn't like confrontation, and I still don't, sorry. But now it's like, well, you know, like, at least I know a little something. And again, I'm not gonna, like, the best scenario, yeah, I'm gonna sprint the other way, make sure my family's good, and we're safe. And that's what I want more than anything. But again, it's like, even just watching like UFC and stuff, and like understanding like, oh shit, this got taken down to the ground. Like, I'm more excited for it. I can call out what they're trying. when what's her name, Alexa Grasso won the title in the UFC. I was explaining like, oh, dude, she's gonna try to just cross that arm over, and she's gonna go for the rear naked choke, and then, like she slowly did. I'm like, oh, it's over, and then sure enough, it was over. Whereas before, maybe I wouldn't have been able to do that. So it's just like everything is just like, I guess like just better mood all around, just because I do this silly thing with a bathrobe on. But yeah, I gain lots of confidence and just feel more comfortable, just walking around being myself. And
what about confidence in your like your body?
Oh, dude,
like when you go to lift and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like physicality.
The understanding that my body didn't break under. I'll just use you and Nsima as an example. Like me and Nsima have rolled together, and he has destroyed me, and like he's being nice about it. So I'm just using him as an example because you're 250. Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought you were much less for some reason. My bad.
Always been 250.
Yeah, my bad, dude. Sorry. My bad. So 250, 180, and I didn't just totally turn into dust when he got on top of me. You know what I mean? Like oh, yeah. I am not made out of already broken glass, like I'm got my bone density up, right? So we're good. So doing that, it's sort of like, oh, I can lift up that weight, or I can do whatever. Like the other day, so like Nsima showed me a really cool sweep, and so like I had somebody in my guard, and I wanted to bring them down because they were just like too far back, and so I did the thing where your legs wrapped around the person, and you just do a complete sit up to grab the collar.
Yeah.
After I did it, like as I'm doing it, I'm just like, no, I'm focused on the thing. I did it, and then after class, I was like, oh shit, I didn't know I could do that. Like,
yeah, man.
I'm like, yeah, I did like an inverted sit-up. Like, oh, wait a second, hold on. Like, I couldn't even do that, like a flat one on a GHR, and here I am upside down, gripping somebody with my legs, And I was like, what is that? I never knew I could do that. And so here I am doing it, and I'm like, dude, this is amazing. Like, so underestimating my body was part of it, but now like seeing like, whoa, dude, I'm capable of doing some really cool things. And again, wouldn't have ever happened if I didn't start jiu-jitsu. So confidence there for sure. The other day in the gym, popped my shirt off pretty like without any hesitation because we were working on something. And then, Kenny was like, holy shit, you're lean, and like, yeah, like I'll walk around my house with my shirt off now, because I feel super confident. And
that's a big deal, dude.
Drives my wife crazy. So it's really like 2 wins in a row right there.
Yeah.
And again, this is me not
chest out.
Yeah.
Flexing a little bit.
A little bit
of a lat syndrome thing going.
Yeah. Doing the opposite of what Nsima was talking about earlier. Just keeping it all nice and tight. Like, what's up? Nah. But again, not trying to go for those aesthetics, and they're just happening because I'm focused on, getting better on the mats. And again, with the diet, it's like even easier now because I know if I like, like Chipotle was suggested for dinner one night. I'm like, man, that sounds good. I'm like, but I really don't want to be gassy, in the morning. I don't want to be that guy, that farts all over the mats, and then it's like everybody has to like, yep, he's the guy today.
It is great though when somebody does fart mid-roll, because this happens in almost every single class. You'll hear someone who's like, and everyone will be like, everyone will like look at them and laugh, and then they'll keep rolling. It's a great
everybody just gets back to it.
They get back to it, man.
But it's always funny because like you could tell sometimes when they're really holding it, there's and it's like. And it's like, oh, dude, that sucks.
Yeah, you're like, what else is going to happen?
But then other times if somebody gets knee on belly and it's just a full-on, like, oh, bro, like, dude, calm down.
You kind of feel like a man when you can push a fart out of another man.
Squeezed it right out of him.
Yeah, you go knee on belly, you're just, it's a pretty cool feeling.
You could just ask people like, hey, you got gas? Like, I can help you out.
Yeah. Like, dude, how about we just get it out right now so it's not like as embarrassing? Because if you let one go mid-roll, like that just kind of ruins it for everybody. Let's just go to the corner and just rip this thing right on out.
Clear out the mats and you gotta open up the doors.
There have been times where I've rolled with people and like it's like I feel a fart, I'm just off of them. It's great.
And you're like, I need a second.
Like you got an air bubble down there.
Yeah,
like, better get away from it.
Oh God.
But yeah, So hopefully, I mean, everything will work out for this comp. Gonna go see Oscar again tomorrow. Seen him the other day, Oscar Olguin.
If you guys want PT in Sacramento, or like you want body work done,
Yeah.
OSC.OLGUIN, OSC.OL. Just
I'm not sure.
We'll put him in
the
here.
recovery room in Elk Grove. That's
He's
what's
really good.
About
He's
to open a new spot.
He's worked my girl. He's worked me. He's worked Mark. He's worked you.
Worked
He's
on.
awesome.
I said it like that on purpose. I don't know what he does with my girl when he's alone with her. Shit. I'm joking. I don't know, actually.
Yeah, I look like I got in a fight with an octopus.
Now
Like
I'm
I
sweating.
got cupping done. That shit felt pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that. So yeah, then I'm hoping by next Monday I'll be able to really get back after it. That's the goal right now.
Power Project family, your normal shoes are making you weak. This is why we partner with Vivo Barefoot Shoes, because they have a wide toe box, they're flat, and they're flexible. So with every single step you're taking, if you're taking a 10-minute walk outside, or when you're working out in the gym, your feet are able to do what they're supposed to do in this shoe. They have tons of options for hiking, running, training in the gym, chilling and relaxing, casual shoes for if you're out on a date. You need to check them out. And Andrew, how can they get it?
Yes, that's over at vivobarefoot.com/powerproject, and you guys will receive 15% off your order automatically. Again, vivobarefoot.com/powerproject. Links to them down in the description as well as the podcast show notes.
I just emailed you a clip.
Is that real, though?
I have no idea.
No, it has to be real.
He's like, what in the fuck?
Dog, gorillas are so wild.
Their
'cause, like,
eyes are crazy.
exactly. It's like the whites of their eyes. It's just you're looking into something. Ugh.
It's weird
kinda
with
eerie.
it's weird with like a dog. Like when you look at your dog's, you look into your dog's eyes, like there's not much more back there. It doesn't seem like it, right?
Yeah.
with my, I don't know. I guess
Huskies are cool though.
Yeah, because their eyes, like when they look at you, it's you know that there could be some shit going on.
Horses scare the shit out of me.
Oh yeah, horse. Yeah, well, their eyeballs so big.
Big old eyeballs and just super dark. Just like, what's going on in there? You a robot? Like, we don't know.
Let's see, Kenny SC boy.
Well, he's pulling that up. So, Mark, are like lifting and running, you're feeling jacked, you're looking jacked. I don't know, anything else you've noticed as well, like as far as like the strength levels, maybe, like, yeah, how are things going there?
Yeah, just at the moment, I have really never felt so good. I think if I can get my sleep squared away, I'm really interested to kind of see what that will yield, because again, I don't think it's too great to put too much weight into these apps and things that are supposed to kind of give us these like sleep scores and stuff, but I think it has some merit. And mine is usually pretty low, so I just kind of wonder, even if I was to get it like above average, like what that will look like, what results that will yield. But lifting wise, I feel good. I feel like capable of doing all kinds of stuff. I'm working on a lot of things that are kind of unconventional for me. Like I'm doing like more like neck training and like calf specific training, and
there's a lot of forced reps. I saw you and Kenny doing the back stuff the other day. How's that increased volume of like bodybuilding work? Have you felt any difference doing that for the past few weeks?
It's definitely like strenuous. But yeah, we're just trying to, at least on one movement, we're trying to, just kind of pour everything we have at least into like one movement. I think the first couple workouts that we did, we were excited, so we kind of just smashed on like every single movement, and that was like a
mistake.
That was it was a little too much. But we're doing things now where there's like isolation. Like sometimes depends on the day, but sometimes we'll do like med ball throws and the bike and stuff like that in the beginning of the workout to kind of get warm. And then once we're warm, we'll move into like isolation stuff. We'll do like a bodybuilding specific motion just to pump a lot of blood, but to force us to like kind of use less weight in the upcoming exercises, which I think works out really well because it helps, in my opinion, helps save the joints. And it's just kind of less overall wear and tear. So we might do kind of O'Hearn style where Mike might do 6, 7, 8 sets of back extensions before he starts like a back dominant workout before he starts hamstrings or something like that, or before he starts doing lats. And you're like, man, why would you do something? But it helps build a lot of conditioning, kind of the way that Matt Wenning does with his some of that work. So yeah, I'm noticing, like, I guess the main thing I'm noticing is how far away the two things are from each other. Like lifting, lifting couldn't be any more opposite than running. Like they're running distances, they're massively apart from each other. And I can see why like a runner wouldn't want to lift, because it can compromise a lot of things. And while it can improve a lot of things, because it can build up your resilience, it can obviously increase like bone density and make you less prone to injury. The energy system that it works and the way that it works your body is just, they're not related to each other as much as you would like them to be. And so I think the amount of training and all that kind of stuff is all stuff I need to like watch out for and focus on. But when it comes to most of the stuff I do with Kenny, like it's rare that we'll train legs together. So I'm like, that's just going to cost me too much, and I don't want to get caught up in like doing squats and then like, oh, he's using 4 plates, so fuck it, I'll use, the same. Like I don't want to I can get caught up in that, so I don't want to get.
That'll pull you in for sure.
Yeah, it'll just pull me in. So if I might tell him and say, hey, if you want to train legs with me, like I can push you and you can do more exercises and shit, and I'll be your training partner on that. But like I'm not going to actually participate in all the same exercises because it's going to demolish me. So I gotta kind of know my lane, but it's been amazing, training with a guy that just turned 22 years old, that is super explosive and super athletic. And I watch him do stuff and I'm like, okay, I can do that, but I need to do my own version of it. So I'm like, we're doing box jumps the other day. Like he can jump up on this table without even thinking about it. He could probably jump up on this table. And for me, I'd be like, okay, well, I think I need a couple weeks of training, or like maybe a couple months. I don't know. I got to take my time trying to figure it out. But it is nice though to be working out with somebody that's that athletic, that's that explosive. He was throwing a 20-pound med ball, and he's like I touched the ceiling with I think 15, and like a little bit of stuff came down from the ceiling. He's like, that was pretty cool. He takes the 20, just launches it, and like the whole building almost fell down.
now I got to try this. I've never done that med ball toss, but I'm curious about
I'm
it.
like, you got to be careful. You're gonna knock the whole building down. But it's been a lot of fun. So,
do you know what's a really cool thing about what you're mentioning right now? And I'm not, trust me, I'm not comparing you, but you remember Joe Dispenza, old people in a nursing home, put young stuff around them, they get younger. Yep. It's like you training with somebody like that who has that type of intensity, who's 20-something years old and has a 20-something-year-old output. By being around that and work like...
That's part of the reason why you're on the podcast, bro.
But like, exactly, man.
It's helpful
like,
to me. Yeah.
You're absolutely going to be... You're going to be kind of moving backwards. We talk about the aging backwards thing, but... You also, you don't pay attention to the YouTube comments, dude, but like people in a bunch of these videos are always saying, damn, Mark's looking good. Damn, Mark's looking younger. Damn. And part of the reason is because you're not letting the way you feel and your age define the things you do. You're purposefully pushing yourself with younger people, not competing against or whatever, but you're pushing yourself, and that's helping you to continue to improve in that direction rather than aging like everybody else does.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Some of the last blood work that I got, Dan Garner ran some like metrics. I don't know exactly how he does it, but I think maybe I can figure out the website or whatever and let you guys know, but I don't remember what it was called. But I'm 46, and he said, like, in accordance to your blood work, and there's even a couple other markers that we didn't even test for. He's like, according to your blood work, you're more like 40. And I was like, shit, I'll take that. And he's like, we should make it a goal to get you like to 38, and then maybe like 36, as you're getting older, your markers for your health will be improving in this way. And he's like, this is not like bullshit. He's like, this is, it's pretty good data in reference to the science that we have now, in reference to the blood work. And my blood work, this last one was not even... It wasn't nearly as good as I've had it before. I think I was a little messed up from my marathon run and stuff like that. So I could still even get it better. So I thought it was a pretty cool goal. I'm like, that's kind of neat. That does give me a carrot to chase, you know?
Yeah. And I think the really cool thing is it kind of shows what activity can do to you. Because I got to restate this, man. It is really crazy being 230 pounds with a 46 resting heart rate during sleep. You know, like I've talked about my resting heart rate before, and guys are always like, oh yeah, mine's 45, mine's 44, but they're like 180 pounds, right? But you're 230 with a 46 beats per minute resting heart rate. That's why the running you've been doing has been so beneficial. And I need to keep this in mind on the next run I do. That pacing is important, you know, like just going really fucking slow, keeping your heart rate at like 120 or 130, what you usually keep it at when you run. That has long-term dividends.
Yesterday I was running, which is, again, it's not fast. I was running like 4.5 miles an hour. Anyone can put a treadmill to that speed, and you kind of end up with like, it makes you kind of have to jog, you know? But that's the speed I was running, and my heart rate was at like 120. And I'm like, this is a huge improvement, because I didn't even really look at it when I started, but I'm just going to imagine that it was probably like 150 or 160 just from any sort of jogging.
And that what I saw, you went 10 miles, right?
Yeah, I did 10 miles. And the accumulation too usually fucks you over too. Usually your heart rate goes higher and higher as you go longer and longer.
Yeah, that's the thing. That, like, I think that's the key, at least for me, to be able to implement that into what I do consistently. Just keeping it slow, because I already do some sprint work, but that slow running's it's gonna be good. But that's awesome, dude. 40 years old. Again, with all the stuff that Brian Johnson guy's doing, with all the pills and shit, like, you can physically, through the actions you take, you can de-age.
Reverse it all.
It's fucking awesome.
All right, Andrew, want to take us out of here? I don't know if we ever found that video.
I couldn't find it, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe he had to take it down.
Is it on? Was it on? Maybe just Kenny KO's like Instagram.
I went on his Instagram.
Oh, okay.
I went through all his Instagram videos.
So like this is all I could find on YouTube.
It's at a show. It's at like an event.
No, it was more recent.
This was 3 years ago.
I think it was that he tried to get his height right.
Yeah, and he's like, why are you disrespecting me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that. Yeah.
I think Kenny. I think he probably had to take it down because. Big SC boy does not seem like someone you fuck around with on the internet like that.
That's true.
No ramifications.
Take us on out of here, Andrew.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for checking out today's episode. Drop those comments down below. Let us know what you guys think about today's conversation. That goes as well as on Spotify. Make sure you guys drop those comments there as well. And hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if, again, follow everywhere at MB Power Project all over the place. Nsima's showing off the new shirt that's probably available right now at powerproject.live. So head over there. Links in the description as well as podcast show notes. My Instagram is at I am Andrew Z. Nsima, where are you at?
At Nsima Inyang on Instagram and YouTube.
So pretty.
At Nsima Inyang on TikTok and Twitter.
Those are sick.
Mark.
I think we got to give away a couple shirts.
We should.
Okay.
But you guys are fucking cheap.
No, let's give away.
Nsima burned through 2 shirts today already.
Just give away like 2 or 3 shirts, right?
Yeah, let's do that.
If they make a comment or if they leave something, how do we do it?
If they actually got to this point of the video, and then what words?
They deserve
should we
a lot
have?
of free stuff.
Yo, what word? Like what? The first
What
comments.
was it? Pocket pussy? What was that thing?
Flashlight?
Fleshlight.
So
Use the word fleshlight.
Yeah. Type in "I want a fleshlight, please." Type that in, and then I'll get you. We'll find your info and we'll send you a shirt for the first 3 people that do that.
Where do they type it in? On like YouTube comments?
YouTube comments. But then you got to be in the Discord so I can get your information from you.
There you
so
go.
type it in the YouTube comments, and then you better be in our Discord server, which is in the description, if you want this shirt.
I'm at Mark Smelly Bell. Strength is never weakness. Weakness is never strength. Catch you guys later. Bye.